Should I not hold this coffee?
You can hold the coffee, yeah.
We're not sponsoring that shit.
I'm not.
Yeah, unless you don't want to be sponsored or represented. But
Where did I get this coffee?
Wouldn't they ask us to take that down for copyright?
Coffee.
I'm not gonna
Copyright.
copyright.
Oh. Are face tattoos worth it?
Maria. Maria.
Don't do it. Don't do it, kids.
I don't like face tattoos. I don't think I can ruin the face, you know? I can't ruin this.
I don't want to ruin somebody's life that way, you know, like.
My face is so unsymmetrical, so my nose points west, so like, I don't really want like something that's like, I don't know, I think it'll like bother my face.
If it's aggressive and they're already covered, does it matter? You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're a tattoo artist, sure, it's part of your trade. But if you're an 18-year-old and you think you're a hip-hop star, don't do it. Don't. It ain't worth it.
If you just want to get yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, you kind of like for sure. It's like totally worth it.
Can we what can we say, by the way?
I mean, worth it in what regard? They look fucking cool.
Face tattoos are totally worth it. They don't hurt, they look super cool, and people know that you're cool and tattooed all year round.
In the sense of, yeah, I wanted it, but like, no, I've never been to jail. You know, like that's not really worth it to be asked that all the time.
That's
it's like,
true.
these are, I think they're done well, right?
Okay, so weird thing about face tattoos is they hurt the least. I've been tattooed by 54 people. I've gotten 1 million tattoos. The face ones hurt the least, so it's like easy to get them.
It's a weird thing to tattoo. I haven't done a ton of face tattoos, maybe just a handful, but like, it's an odd area, right? Because like you're working on a thigh, you just place your hands down. When you do that in the face, I've got like my fist in somebody's mouth and I'm poking them in the eyeball. So like you gotta be a little careful with how you're, doing that.
The art, definitely worth it, but it has to be a good tattoo. A lot of the times you see people with face tattoos and it's like a little thing on their cheek, or you know what I mean? It's done poorly. So at that point, it's definitely not worth it.
I think that there's certain things where most tattoos aren't 100% perfect. You always have some slight variation that you're kind of working around. So your margin of error is extremely slim. Because like, somebody might not notice a slight line variation on like a shoulder tattoo, but if they're shaving in the mirror, they're staring at it every day. So you don't really have a lot of room to wiggle.
Just make sure you research your artist before putting something permanent on there.
I like mine. Mine are very subtle. I don't know if I would want to get my whole face blasted, but I think that's like personal preference. Like
Mine have been awesome for me, but I could see them being terrible for other people. I think my personality doesn't matter what's on my face. You know what I mean? Like
when I got my face tattooed, I was very nonconformist. I was this punk kid living on the streets. I never wanted to be part of society, and I wanted to seal the deal that I would never be part of society. Today, that's a different story. I'm a tax-paying, productive member of society, right?
For me, it was like, okay, if I have a face tattoo, it's the biggest commitment with the industry, so I have to be good. I have no option. No, I have no option to be like a lawyer after the face tattoo. So, for me, if a customer asks for a face tattoo, it's different.
I'm kind of iffy on whether it's as much of a job stopper as it used to be. And even though right now we're kind of post that whole like face tattoos being like the thing that what it was like maybe 3-4 years ago, there's a lot of other things that you could do to get past it. If somebody's not gonna hire you strictly because of that, maybe that wasn't gonna be the profession for you anyways. Like, were you gonna be a banker? Maybe don't get a face tattoo. But if you're gonna be a creative director or you're gonna be, anyone in a creative thing, nobody's gonna blink at that.
Face tattoos now are kind of like Starbucks's. They're just like,
Every corner?
Yeah, it's like wherever, you know what I mean?
I used to look tough with like more face tattoos and no one would talk to me and everyone's like, he's got a black arm and he looks tough. And now it's not like that. Everyone's like, hey, face tattoo guy, I want to get a feather for my aunt. You know what I mean? I'm like, why are you talking to me right now?
I'd say it if you're in a position that you can, whatever.
I think about it all the time now, and if anything ever happened with tattooing or if I lost my hands or something, I think I'd have a hard time finding a job. So I think you have to think about it, but they're totally worth it. Look how cool they look.
Now, I do know that they can dramatically change the way that people do perceive you in the outside world, which is why we like to tell people to be fully covered first before committing to a face tattoo, because even tattoos on your fingers and hands can you just make people feel differently about you when you're in public. And some people are cool with that, some people aren't, but I think a lot of people might not be ready for that, right? They're not, they just don't realize how it's going to change the way that they're perceived.
I don't do them because the people that come in for the face tattoos, they're a little out there sometimes.
Sometimes you have to be like counselor to these people, they just want the SoundCloud rapper tattoos or, whatever's popular, or what is it, the X Games sleeve where you get the hands and you get the neck, you get the face, and you have nothing else.
So there was this client that came in to get a face tattoo. He wanted the word Hellboy on his face. So actually one of my other artists at the time, she ended up doing the tattoo, but instead of Hellboy, it said demons under his eye. And what was that for? The next day, he just started harassing us and just saying that we ruined his face and his life. He has to look in the mirror every day and see this. So he was literally calling us and harassing us on Instagram for months. And then one day it just stopped. So I thought like, okay, maybe he got sick, maybe he's in jail. Then we got a phone call at the shop and it was him calling from jail. And he's threatened and said that the reason why he's in jail is because he went into a Best Buy and stabbed an employee. So he just wanted to remind us about the tattoo on his face. So ever since then, I was like, I'm never tattooing anybody on their face again.
Some guy came in by the name of Turbo. Turbo comes in and he wants a knife on his face, dripping blood. My boy was like, that's not a good idea. You probably shouldn't do that. He ended up saying, all right, drop it right there. He puts it, finds out it's his first tattoo. Second of all, he doesn't even look at it. He asks his boy what he thinks about it, who he came with, and his boy's like, yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good. He asked, my boy asked Knock, he goes, can you make it smaller? My mom's gonna kill me. You're getting a dagger dripping blood across your face. Your mom's gonna kill you regardless, and your name's Turbo. Come to find out a few months later, maybe a year later, somebody who went to school with him ended up coming in and saying his nickname was No Job Guy after he got that, because he couldn't get a job when he got this giant knife dripping blood on his face. So yeah, to an extent, 18-year-old kid, I don't think I would have let that happen, but hey.
I feel like anybody should be able to do whatever they want with their body, like whatever they want. So like if they truly decide that, they want the bat symbol like as their like face mask for the rest of their life, yeah, dude, get it on. Like I don't give a like as long as it's not something that's going to affect or hurt somebody else. Like any hate speech on your face, that's like dedication, but it's not the right kind, if you will. So there's a service of empathy when you're tattooing somebody. And I think that when you know that it's maybe like an emotional choice, or when you think that maybe it's not the right choice, like they have no other tattoos on their body and they want to get I wanna die above their eyebrow, it's like, I'm gonna make the choice not to do that to that person. If they feel strongly enough to like go get it done by somebody else, then that's like, I was never gonna stop them, but like at least I tried,
Wrapping it up, bringing it all back. To an extent, I would let somebody get a face tattoo. Not let, because I'm not the gatekeeper of face tattoos, but I would give somebody a face tattoo as long as it's not hateful or gonna really affect their life. Like if they're getting some not so great stuff above their eye, then chances are I'm probably gonna tell you, no, you can't do that. But if you want a little jammer on the corner of your face, do what you want.
I change my makeup way too often and like how I style myself that I think I want my face to be like a blank canvas.
Yeah, I've seen so many cute ones though, like little hearts, little butterflies, moons. I think they're cute.
They're so tempting,
just
but
not my face.
I change my vibe too often to have something permanent on my face right now.
I mean, I do this every day with makeup and it lasts because it's good makeup, And if I put a cross tomorrow, I can put a cross tomorrow. If I don't want to have it, I just don't do it. But it's just my opinion. I don't have anything against face tattoos. Like if you want to get it, it's up to you, And if you're full of tattoos and the next step for you is getting face tattoos, go for it. I'm not gonna be the one doing them.
I'm more impressed by a butthole tattoo.
That's where it's at.
Because especially if I'm aware of it, like I can see it, then something's happening. That's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
You can always see a face.
Yeah, I just walk right by you. Face tattoo. But butthole tattoo, if I walk by you and I'm just like,
Yeah, we're not desensitized to the butthole tattoo yet.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?